Live from the KOIN Center in downtown Portland, this is KOIN 6 News. Watching out for you.
It was terrifying. I think he meant to kill him.
Tonight, a woman shares her story exclusively with KOIN 6 after her husband was brutally attacked at a Portland 7-Eleven. This is KOIN 6 News at 11. I'm Trevor Alt. Police say Bill Nickleby was attacked by a homeless man with a baseball bat. It happened a little over 2 weeks ago at the 7-Eleven on Southeast 71st and Powell. The alleged attacker is now in custody, and tonight Jennifer Dowling spoke with the victim's wife. Jennifer, what did she have to say?
Well, Trevor, as Bill Nickleby fights to recover, his wife Kim says she would like to see his attacker charged with attempted murder. She says he nearly died, all because he refused to buy the man beer.
It was terrifying.
When Kim Nickleby got to the hospital, her husband Bill was in the ICU, vomiting, suffering from a brain bleed, fractured skull, and other injuries.
It looked like he had his teeth knocked out.
Just a half an hour prior, he'd left the family pool party to get snacks for the kids at the 7-Eleven. Kim said, unfortunately, he parked behind this broken down car, the same car that Corey Thommel was living in.
The guy had asked him to buy him beer. And Bill said, that's like the sketchiest thing I've ever heard. I'm not buying you beer.
Kim says when Bill returned to his car, he was attacked from behind with a baseball bat. Another shopper came out, saw him on the ground, and called 911. Meanwhile, Bill's phone had gone dead.
My sister and I left and walked the dogs down to go see what was going on.
At the 7-Eleven, she found Corey, and she claims he lied.
He was the one that told me that my husband had a medical emergency and it looked like he had a seizure.
Kim says a note was later found on Bill's window warning him not to use the word sketchy again.
The next time you call somebody sketchy, you better watch it. I was in prison for 25 years. If you survive, you'll be lucky.
Corey was arrested, admitted to riding it, but denied hitting Bill with a bat, telling police he grabbed him by the throat face to face and punched him instead.
They're not hopeful that he will get hearing back in his left ear.
As the family waits for justice, Bill is trying to recover. He was an athletic man who finished the bridge pedal on the day of the attack. He now uses a walker to get around the house.
I'm just hoping to get my wonderful life back. I mean, it's not perfect, but it was great to me. And have my daughter feel safe.
Well, the family has started a GoFundMe page to help in Bill's recovery. We'll put a link to that on our website in the story at KOIN.com. Trevor, back to you.
Horrifying story, Jennifer. Thank you. Tonight, a Portland employee is filing a $250,000 lawsuit alleging he was the victim of fraternity-style hazing. Adam Rollins says he endured pranks and harassment at the Portland Bureau of Transportation. This was back in 2016. The suit says that the pranks included being frequently shot with an air gun that was loaded with metal screws and popcorn kernels. Rollins was also allegedly bound with zip ties and duct tape and locked in a shed, and the suit says a supervisor knew about all of it but didn't act. City officials declined to comment on pending litigation. Well, it is the first of a three-day weekend here. 64 degrees right now. Meteorologist Joseph Dames. Joseph, I think it's fair to say this was about ideal weather for the start of a long weekend.
Definitely fair to say that. It was a beautiful day. This is the third day in a row that we've had temperatures in the mid-70s, feeling much nicer than the 90s. Just a great weekend. On top of it, we had nothing but sunshine today. So many neighborhoods for our Saturday in the mid-70s. I hope you had a great start to the weekend. We had some football games going on. It was just a nice way to begin this three-day weekend. Now, 79 degrees is our normal high. We hit 75, so we're a little bit cooler today. And I think we're going to be close to that seasonal average as we go into tomorrow. Seaside right now. That would be a place to be. I mean, check out, you have a lot of whole group congregating down here, hanging out. We have some fires. It's just a good place to be for your Saturday night. Now, temperatures here are going to be in the lower 50s as we go through the overnight. A few more clouds rolling on in, but they should be gone by tomorrow afternoon. But I do have a chance for a little bit of rain in the forecast. I'll tell you about that coming up, Trevor.
Sounds good, Joseph. Thanks. Tonight, police say speed most likely was a factor in a deadly overnight crash in Beaverton. Officers say the driver of this wrecked Chevy Monte Carlo died in the crash. It happened around 2:30 this morning near Southwest Murray Boulevard and Hart Road. Police say the car went off the road and hit the trees. The driver has not yet been identified. Also tonight, Portland police officers are under investigation for their use of potentially deadly force. It follows an arrest last night on Southeast Ramona Street. Officers were after 31-year-old Jonathan Harris, who had a warrant for his arrest, but he resisted. Officers say he had a gun, so they used a carotid hold, also known as a chokehold, to arrest him. Well, now the Detective Division's homicide detail is looking into the use of that move. In Washington, teacher salary negotiations are continuing into the Labor Day weekend. Classes were canceled again yesterday for 8 school districts in Southwest Washington, and kids in Camas are scheduled to start Tuesday, but there's still no deal in that district either. All the districts are offering teachers raises, but the teachers union says they deserve a bigger cut of the new money coming in. That's following a state Supreme Court decision. We spoke with one of the legislators who worked on the McCleary decision. She stresses that part of the $2.3 billion from the state was supposed to go to increasing teachers' salaries.
I believe that they have the absolute right to ask for more compensation, and it was our intent to give them more compensation.
Now, we've reached out to a number of teachers' unions to find out what they're asking for, but many are not releasing details of their specific demands. Of course, you have to be sure to stay with KOIN 6 as we follow these negotiations. You can stay on top of all the breaking updates by downloading the KOIN 6 News app. And the best part is you don't have to negotiate with us. It is for free. Well, Senator John McCain was honored today with words of kindness and heartfelt tributes during a national memorial service in Washington. He died last week of brain cancer. Thousands bid farewell to America's maverick, Senator John McCain, at the National Cathedral in Washington. President George W. Bush praised McCain's character and values.
Perhaps above all, John detested the abuse of power, could not abide bigots and swaggering despots. There was something deep inside him that made him stand up for the little guy.
President Barack Obama, who defeated McCain in the 2008 presidential election, reflected on the Arizona senator's love of country.
He was willing to buck his own party at times, occasionally work across the aisle on campaign finance reform and immigration reform.
Even though Senator McCain's funeral drew leaders from both sides of the aisle, at times it turned political with veiled criticism of President Trump, who wasn't invited.
The America of John McCain has no need to be made great again because America was always great.
The service weaved together themes that captured McCain's life, military sacrifice, and legacy. Former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger, who met McCain after he was released as a prisoner of war in Vietnam, says McCain was a gift of destiny.
The world will be lonelier without John McCain.
Senator McCain will be buried during a private service on Sunday next to his best friend at the Naval Academy in Annapolis. McCain was held as a prisoner of war for 5.5 years after his plane was shot down during a bombing mission in 1967 in Vietnam. Well, tonight, an Oregon military veteran is treated to the home he deserves. Specialist Charles Patrick grew up in Lebanon. He joined the Oregon Army National Guard in 2008 and was deployed to Afghanistan 2 years later. While he was there, his vehicle hit an IED and he suffered a severe back injury. Since then, he's made a recovery. He's been given numerous awards, including a Purple Heart. And today he was gifted a 100% mortgage-free home, courtesy of Military Warriors Support Foundation.
It's just amazing, and not only a chance to have a house, but a home, to call my own. So it's going to be pretty sweet.
As he settles into his new home, he's also looking to continue his education. The plan is to attend Oregon State University in the fall. Happening tomorrow, after an 11-year absence, the same race cars that make up the Indy 500 are back at Portland International Raceway for the Portland Grand Prix. The event features some of the world's best open-wheeled racing and several other categories of open-wheeled cars. Now, the big race isn't until noon tomorrow, but leading up to it, there's lots of practice, qualifying, and supporting races as well. Still to come tonight, we're looking back on the devastating fire that rained ash on Portland, where the recovery stands 1 year after the Eagle Creek fire. And highlights from the Ducks and the Beavers games today. That's just ahead in sports. It was a Labor Day weekend none of us will soon forget. Tomorrow marks 1 year since the devastating Eagle Creek fire that burned huge chunks of the Columbia River Gorge. In all, the fire torched almost 50,000 acres. And after a lot of hard work, the Forest Service says they have restored and reopened about half of the trails affected. That's more than 60 miles worth of trail. But others, like Oneonta Trail, are still in bad shape because of recurring landslides.
This isn't just a rock slide, this is a full-blown landslide where quite a bit of earth and rock came down.
And trails like Washella Falls and Angel's Rest could be open by the end of the year, but Eagle Creek Trail will likely take years before you're allowed to hike it once again. And meanwhile, Oregon's Department of Transportation is warning gorge visitors about the hazards still in place. 6 miles of the historic Columbia River Highway are still closed, and the section from Bridalveil to Ainsworth is seeing falling rock and trees. Remember, if you're visiting Multnomah Falls this holiday weekend, you really should go early. ODOT says the 186-space parking lot can see anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 vehicles per day. We also want you to remember, even though temperatures have cooled off and we've seen a little bit of rain, the fire danger is still high. There are burn bans at state parks, national forests, even in your backyard in the metro area. It's not just wood fires that are banned, also charcoal briquettes and anything with an open flame. The only exception is for parks along the coast. Despite all the warning signs in parks, some people are still ignoring them.
We've actually evicted several visitors from the campground due to failure to comply with the burn ban.
Remember, if you're camping, to pack propane and a camp stove, and as for your backyard, the grill is still okay to use. At 11:14 now, I want to get the full weather forecast with meteorologist Joseph Dames. We don't want to see anyone get evicted from their campgrounds this weekend, but man, is it a perfect weekend to go camping.
Oh, sure is. Get outdoors. I mean, don't want to be inside doing fancy football drafts, stuff like that. I'm just saying that because
of course,
I know a lot of people
very
doing that
timely.
Right now. Yes, very timely.
For
but
sure.
A great weekend to be outside. If you're going to be doing some camping, yeah, you got to be careful out there. It is so dry. I mean, we are just inches and inches behind and all the moisture that we need. And I do not have much rain in the forecast, but hopefully we'll start to turn a leaf and get some more rain on the way in. All right, 62 degrees here in Portland right now. Northwest breeze about 12 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 78. We're going to be very close to about 80 degrees up and down the Willamette Valley. The days keep on getting better, it seems like, because it's right in the sweet spot with our temperatures. And it's just nice and comfortable outside. We're going to continue to see that pleasant weather on Sunday as well as Monday. Now, Monday, we're going to start off with maybe some patchy drizzle, but the afternoon should be just fine to get outdoors and do whatever you want for your Labor Day. Some brief warming going on Tuesday through Thursday. I'm talking about, lower to mid 80s on Tuesday. Wednesday, I expect us about the mid to upper 80s. So Wednesday might get a little warm, but other than that, no extreme heat on the way, and the chance for some light rain later on in the week, which is always nice. Right now it's very dry, it's very quiet. We don't have any rain even in the vicinity at all. We are watching off into the Pacific, which will eventually bring in a weak disturbance, which should bring in a little bit of rain maybe Monday morning. For tomorrow, we're going to see those temperatures in the upper 70s across the region. We have 80 for Tualatin and Sherwood. You'll be about 80 degrees too. 78 for about PDX and Washougal in the mid to upper 70s there. And that goes for areas like Battleground towards Salmon Creek. If you're going to be at the coast tomorrow, anywhere from Astoria down to Newport, expect the 60s there. Some sunshine, great day to be along the coast. Very similar to today. Again, we're going to be in the upper 70s to the lower 80s. Salem, 82 degrees tomorrow. If you're going for that hike, it's going to be a good day for that. 85 coming out of Madras, Pendleton, lower 80s, and into the gorge. We'll see those temperatures in the 80s to Government Camp. Likely the upper 60s to near 70 degrees for your Sunday forecasts. Watch what happens Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll have some high pressure roll on in. That means some sunshine, some warmer weather. Temperatures likely to about the mid 80s come Wednesday, or average about 79 degrees. So we're going to be below for a few, and they're going to be up for about 3 days there. All right, we're hoping to tap into a little bit of moisture now. This light blue is saying, hey, we might get a little bit of rain coming from this weak disturbance late Sunday. It's not going to be much. We're looking more for those yellows and orange tints, which will eventually bring in some heavier rain, likely as we go into our fall. But at least as we start September, I don't see much deep moisture in the way bringing any soaking rain. Trevor, 76 degrees for our Monday, 82 Tuesday, Wednesday, again mid 80s, and then a chance for some showers Friday and Saturday. We might actually get some light rain both those days, which again, we're in a drought right now. We can use any little bit.
3 days with a shower icon. I haven't seen that a lot in the 7-day forecast.
Could even recall last time.
Yeah, definitely. It's a decent change of pace.
Yeah,
because it's not going to be downpours or anything like that. Thank you, Justin. Let's get to sports now. College football underway. Both the Beavers and the Ducks in action today. For Oregon, it was a home game against Bowling Green, and our AJ McCord was at Autzen. She has the game story.
Mario Cristobal walked into the press conference with a bit of a smile on his face, but more like a sigh of relief that things went exactly as they should have today in Eugene for his first game as the Ducks head coach. He took care of Bowling Green like he was supposed to, but he knows this is just the beginning of what his team wants to accomplish this season.
I think the best part about a win like this, there's so many things that you can correct and get better at. Therefore, having your team feel like, okay, you know, we'll take the 1-0 part, we'll take the 58 points, but we know we can do better.
One player who was almost instantly in midseason form, quarterback Justin Herbert. After starting just 2 for 6, he goes on to have a record-setting performance, going 10 of 21 for 281 yards and 5 touchdowns. That sets a record for most TDs thrown by an Oregon starter in a season opener. The junior Heisman hopeful shows off some great pocket awareness and his ability to thread that needle. He ran for another touchdown, clearly with no lingering concerns about the collarbone that put him out for 5 games last season.
Justin is, you know, he's a master of this offense. He knows it extremely well. He was able to deliver it on the second and third read on a number of occasions. Put us in the right play a couple times as well in the run game. And just overall, you know, very pleased with his performance.
Cristobal also showed off his stable of running backs, 6 guys getting touches, including Taj Griffin, who busted free for an 83-yard touchdown.
Marcus Roy did a really good job of getting a lot of guys involved with the offense today. You know how we feel about our backfield. Those guys are special guys, and they've worked. They've earned playing time when playing time matters.
Another big takeaway after an entire spring and summer with strength and conditioning coordinator Aaron Feld, Oregon has filled the sleeves and outmuscled the Falcons at almost every opportunity, whether in the form of a big sack by Justin Hollins or Johnny Johnson III fighting, refusing to go down until he hits the end zone.
Able to perform for longer and perform at a high level for a really long time, just stay consistent with their play. There was no real drop off. Everybody was still strong and healthy throughout the whole game.
Oregon takes down Bowling Green 58-24. It's the 38th time in the past 10 seasons the Ducks have racked up 50-plus points, the only FBS team who can claim that. Arguably the most encouraging stat for Oregon this game, though, only 3 penalties after being the most penalized team in the nation last season. So with 1 win under his belt, Cristobal now looks ahead to next week when he's got a date with Portland State right here in Autzen Stadium. From Eugene, I'm AJ McCord for KOIN 6 Sports.
Thank you, AJ. Now, you might not believe it when you see the final score, but the Oregon State Beavers did show some big improvement over last season in their loss to the Ohio State Buckeyes today. Quarterback Connor Blund in for injured Jake Luton. He connects here with Trevon Bradford over the middle. The Oregon City native does the rest. That's 49 yards for the score. Bradford had 6 catches, 104 yards, 2 TDs. Beavs look good on offense. Their defense needs some significant work. They gave up 721 yards to Ohio State. They gave up 77 points in the process. Oregon State drops the season opener 77-31. Audrey Hassan has reaction from Columbus.
Over 100,000 fans filled the Horseshoe in Columbus today to see the Buckeyes take the field without head coach Urban Meyer on the sideline. So Ohio State and Oregon State opened their season under the direction of 2 first-time head coaches. In Ryan Day's debut as interim head coach at Ohio State, the Buckeyes got out to an early 42-14 lead over the Beavers at the half. And then the rain came. An hour-long rain delay sent fans scurrying home, but Oregon State launches a comeback in the second half. Running back Artavis Pierce led the Beavers, rushing for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Ohio State's 721 yards of total offense, led by quarterback Dwayne Haskins, who threw for 313 total passing yards, just too much for the Beavers. The Buckeyes win the season opener in a rout 77-31.
I did think our guys played with great effort. We've got a lot to learn from this game, though. I mean, you're playing a team like that, there's no room for error. We made some errors. Got to work on our tackling, but I thought our effort throughout was good.
Couldn't make them big runs, but I feel like the online put me in the right position, and I just executed. So if we keep clicking like that, we're going to be a great team.
Ohio State improves to 1-0 on the season as they get ready for Big Ten play and Rutgers next weekend. The Beavers will look to bounce back against Southern Utah. In Columbus at Ohio Stadium, Audrey Hassan, back to you.
And we got more than just football. The Portland Timbers coming off a much-needed win on Wednesday against Toronto. Tonight taking on the New England Revolution. No score in the first half. This is 58th minute. Revolution get a good look on the cross. Steve Clark makes that initial save. Scott Caldwell cleans it up off the bounce. That would make it 1-0 New England. Timbers would answer, though. We go to the 70th minute. Corner kick here. Misplay by the keeper. Lawrence Olam slips one pass. Not into the net, but over the line. They count just the same. Timbers draw New England. They wouldn't score again. 1-1. They host Colorado next Saturday. Still to come on KOIN 6 News, some new developments. Downtown is pushing out original food carts. We catch up with a cart hailed as a local favorite that's now closing its doors. That's coming up next. A staple among the Portland food carts has been forced out. Friday was the last day of business for Nong's Cowman Guy. It's one of several food carts being pushed out of the location near the city Target to make way for a new hotel. We went to Nong's on the final day to see how they feel about the closure. They said it was disappointing because it feels like a lot of food carts are being pushed out.
I've gotten a lot of feedback from people visiting in town too that they're bummed out that it won't be around anymore because it's become such a part of like the Portland personality, like the reason people come here.
Nong's cart was one of the first on the lot back in 2009. They still have 2 brick and mortar stores, one of them in southeast Portland, one in southwest Portland, and it's a favorite of our Joseph Dames. We're going to talk to him with one more check of the weather right after the break.
with the MLB stuff right around the corner, we're like, this is just a perfect opportunity to make a baseball corn maze, right?
The Portland Gear Guys are the brains behind this year's corn maze at Bella Organic on Sauvie Island. It opened today. It will stay open through the end of October. And also on Sauvie Island, the maze at the pumpkin patch featuring the Portland sign. That also opened to visitors today. Joseph Dames, corn mazes, yay or nay?
All about them.
Big fan?
Had a cornfield right behind my house. I am a child of the corn.
Really? Yeah. You ever get lost in one of those?
Oh, yeah. We would go out there and just
wander, make your way back in that morning?
Oh, yeah. It was fun. It was fun. A little bit of hide and seek, all the good stuff.
All right, I guess we could talk about weather.
Yeah, let's talk about weather. 78 degrees for our high tomorrow. It's going to be a really nice day for our Sunday. Labor Day, maybe a little bit of patchy drizzle in the morning, Trevor, but the afternoon should lead to some sunshine, and then 85 degrees on Wednesday.
Load the kayak on the station wagon and bounce your way off to the nearest trail.
That's right.
That sounds good with me, Joseph. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We will see you back here tomorrow, and always, we're on KOIN.com.